Okay, Tuesday, 9th of September 2025. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Language barriers and uncovering attack vectors. So, interesting little case study. Someone I know has started seeing someone who has English as the second language. This individual has, let's say, A2, B1 English. And this someone I know said to me that that person does not want to be the teacher to this other one, in a sense of this individual recognizing that the language barrier in this situationship, in this relationship, could dampen things, could slow things down, could be a limiter, could be a limiting factor, an attack vector, so to speak, in a sense of this is holding back the relationship, in a sense of communication, mismatch, errors, inefficiency, etc. And we could even go deeper to say, by lacking that English language, it means there's a risk of not being socially calibrated to English culture, anthropology, sociology, psychology, standards, values, expectations, you name it, things like that. There could be a mismatch. The language, or their lack thereof, is tip of the iceberg as to potential future problems, future attack vectors, future tension in a relationship in the future. So this situation, this case study was interesting. So I reverse engineered it in my mind and applied it to my situation elsewhere. And thinking, yes, there is. There's potential attack vectors here. There's potential tension in the situation. That's powerful. Because we want to uncover these attack vectors, essentially where there could be problems further down the line because of this problem here. In this context, language barrier, but we can apply it to many other things. Essentially, it's root cause analysis. This situation has the ultimate origin in this particular problem here. But then we can go deeper in the context of language barriers, where you could say that if there is visible progress, then if there's visible progress in the language, then the potential for problems in the relationship diminishes, because it's getting better all the time in this case. And then we can also say, well, is the current level of language, is it resulting in a critical mass or a critical amount of miscommunication? Meaning, in spite of the lack of language, are you still communicating sufficiently? The key word there is sufficiently. Yes, no, maybe, of course. So those two things are interesting with regards to language barriers in relationships. Is there visible progress, and is it sufficient enough right now? And of course, naturally, we want to be learning, increasing and becoming better, wiser, faster, smarter, stronger. And one of them is through languages, very important, in general, in life. But in this situation, with this situationship, that was an interesting potential problem, meaning potential attack vector, meaning it could cause a wedge in some fashion in the future. Second order consequences further down the line. Very interesting. It's a potential problem in any situationship and in any relationship. So then you could say, right, what's the meta signal here? What's the meta pattern? So arguably, as a man, you always want to be increasing your value, being better, wiser, faster, stronger than, say, yesterday, the week before, month before, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 24 months ago. Vital. And one of those things in relationships and in situationships would be language barrier. Even deeper to say, anthropology, cultural calibrate, or anthropologically sound and calibrated, cultural calibration, etc., etc. Many different layers. Because the meta signal here is, in a relationship, we want to reduce the potential attack vectors, meaning reduce the possibility of this being a problem, that being a problem. A wedge, this causing a division, this causing a wedge over here in the relationship. 6 months later, this thing is covered, that thing is hedged again. That's got some protection against, that's insured by this thing over here, this behavior, attitude, this habit, etc., etc. Because if we have too many attack vectors, meaning things we've overlooked or things we're ignoring, that can cause problems, nightmares, disasters further down the line when we're thinking in terms of second order consequences in a relationship. And we need to uncover as many as possible to solve them, to patch them, to heal them, to hedge against them, to insure against them, you name it. Because ultimately, if not, it will cause problems down the line. And we don't want that. We don't want problems. We want to nip it in the bud, sorting it out before it escalates and becomes uncontrollable, gets out of hand. That's the real deeper level here at play. And that was just uncovered in this interesting case study, this interesting scenario, where if it gets out of hand and escalates and escalates and escalates, that could be a big problem, a wedge further down the line, 6 months down the line, and disaster. And we want to be proactive and sort these problems out before they snowball, before they get out of hand, as I just said. Very, very important. So recognizing that language can be a barrier in terms of situationship and relationship if there's no meaningful progress and if there is not a critical mass of miscommunication from the start, from the get-go. Powerful stuff, because that is a potential attack vector. We want to uncover these, find them, reverse engineer, study, theorize, understand as much as possible to absolutely obliterate the attack vectors from day one. Otherwise, they will come back to haunt you in the future. And we don't want that. We don't want problems. We don't want, headaches. No. Luxury. I want relax. Good. Things are streamlined. On my guard, of course. Things are hedged and protected against, but very nice. Very good. Relaxed. Perfect. That's very important. So the language barrier is an attack vector, and we need to uncover as many as we can from day one. Powerful stuff. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.